South McCulloch Boulevard. You can give them a call at 719-547-1009 or check them out on PuebloDispensary.com.
This isn't 740 KVOR. This is K-Hyde, where we give you breaking news like they just released a new killer strain. And it's killer, like really.
Mike's on.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Miranda Wrights. You guys are listening, so let's hash it out at letstalkpot.com, your one and only marijuana radio. It is a beautiful day outside today. It's June 8th, and I'm enjoying this weather.
Hey, you should be.
I mean, I went out and I got a tan this weekend. My legs don't look so bad out in the skirt today. I'm excited. I'm in a good mood.
Now, you know what? I have that problem, too. I always have that problem.
Well, we're not just all as lucky as you are.
Now I'm trying to get darker.
Darker?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I guess.
Just because I can, I'm the knucklehead that runs into the tanning salons and goes, hey, what's up with specials?
I'd love to see their faces when you do that.
And they look at me like, what? Seriously, what? What, discrimination? Don't make me call the NAACP.
That is true.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Hey, don't forget, you can check us out at letstalkpot.com or find us on the YouTube feed. Just go to youtube.com and subscribe to K-Hyde. That's K space High. It's a shame I have to spell it out like that. But K space I. You'll be able to check out all of the video shows on there, including the live feed that's on right now. Yeah, if you tuned in right now, you'll be able to look at Let's Hash It Out, and then there's a little red square, right, little red rectangle under it that says on live right now. Click on that. You'll be able to catch us there. Phone lines are available. Give us a call at 719-591-5874 or 719-591-KUSH. Yet you knew there was a special meaning behind the last four numbers, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and actually, like I talked about last week, I never knew that Kilo actually got their name from, the term for a brick of weed.
Yeah, Kilo.
So, I mean, hey, well, K-High just happens to fit here perfectly in Colorado then.
Yeah, Some people say, you know what, Colorado Springs is it's a little cow town, a little boring town. Well, not so much. Not all of us anyway.
Oh, definitely not. Actually, I don't.
Anybody that thinks Colorado Springs or anywhere really in Colorado is boring clearly has never been here. Because I can tell you, people can say whatever they want about Florida, but let me tell you, Colorado, you're going to see exciting things. Maybe meet wizards, knights.
In other words, meet a whole plethora of single people.
Well, actually, there's tons of single people here. I can't even speak.
Well, that's the crazy thing about Colorado altogether. I mean, Denver is considered the #1 city for singles, yet Colorado Springs is considered the #1 city for married folks.
Really?
If that's the case, what's Pueblo? Or are they just not into it? I didn't mean that as a joke, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't. I really want to know. I mean, Springs is in it, Denver's in it. What's Pueblo?
Well, honey, if you got $20 and are desperate, we can take it.
Hey, now.
Stop.
So for those of you who don't recognize that voice, we have Miss Presence in here with us today in the studio. She's a great friend of mine, and she decided to pop in today with us to, have some conversation and hang out. She has a gorgeous sundress on. I'm liking that, by the way. That's very cute.
Thanks.
Also, today we're going to have Andrew Daly here today from the Weed Reviewer magazine.
Nice.
Yep, he has been in town, I guess, from Denver, so I caught him just in perfect timing. And so him and his fiance are going to be in here in just a moment, and they're going to talk to us all about the magazine. And they just had their first issue come out this past April. I got to meet them at the Cannabis Cup and at different events up in Denver and stuff. But they're very nice people. I'm excited to hear what they got to say. The Weed Reviewer magazine, it's a brand new addition, to the whole cannabis industry as far as publication wise goes, but it's definitely something that I think everybody should check out.
But a lot of entrepreneurship within the cannabis community, and this is just the latest step. So good job. Can't wait to get him in the studio.
I'm excited about it too. So, but otherwise, I don't know. I didn't really come up with too big of a whole topic list for today. I was planning to try to see if I can wing it today. It's the first day of my second weekend.
Let me get this straight. You planned to wing it.
If that makes any sense at all.
It does.
Hey, there's method to my madness, believe it or not.
Understood, but don't do that. While people understand it's only an hour and sometimes it goes quick, you're gonna get that one dead moment to where you're at like 33 and you're like, yeah, I got 27 minutes to fill. Now what? Don't do that. Just don't do that.
Well, I'm not completely me. I mean, I have a whole notebook here full of notes and different things to talk about. But as far as a whole, segment for just one specific topic or for one specific debate, if you will.
Of course.
So, but I've been doing research, trying to figure out this whole anti-marijuana thing and trying to kind of get a better understanding about where people are coming from with it. Just, I don't really understand it. I don't really see how people can really choose to be on that side after all the information that we have out today. But I've come across some websites that are kind of, I don't know, they're pretty ridiculous actually. And it's amazing to me how entertaining people think that all of these propaganda campaigns and all of these like total just blatant lies, if you will, you know what I mean, about weed. I don't understand it at all. I mean, they're trying to say that it'll make you go crazy. It makes you get fat. They're trying to say that it makes white women want to go for African-American men. I was reading. I've come up with all kinds of different crazy things. I don't understand it. Is that a caller?
It is. I was waiting for you to finish your point.
Oh.
This is call 591 Kush or 591-587-74. Hello, you're on the line. Who's this?
Chris.
Hey, what up,
Bay
Chris?
City.
Again? What's going on, man?
Oh, hey.
I like this guy. He's sort of a top fan.
Yes.
I'm addicted listener.
Good deal.
That is absolutely great. How are you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing great, actually. It's beautiful out here in Colorado today, so.
Yeah, it's a little hot here.
Is it there? I bet.
Oh,
I've never been to Michigan.
It just
but.
rained a little while ago.
So explain on air what happened. I know we had a conversation a couple of days ago about the mayor of Bay City, Michigan, and why the one dispensary you had was shut down. Let everybody know why it was actually shut down. Because I know when I told Miranda, she kind of went, "What? Really?"
Yeah, my jaw dropped. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. That kind of pissed me off just hearing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. The city commission got together basically late at night, hush hush kind of thing, and voted that dispensaries were a public nuisance in their town and shut us down the next day.
How's that possible? I mean, isn't they're put there for medicinal reasons? How are they going to say that that's a nuisance?
That's what we're trying to figure out to this day yet.
Detroit and Michigan, I just came from there, and they really have a big problem with law enforcement there. A lot of times they will go in, raid the shops, take all of their product and all of their money, and nobody will be charged. So in other words, what a lot of the law enforcement in Detroit and Michigan are doing is essentially robbing the citizens of their products and goods to pretty much keep their police force and
That can't be legal. That can't be legal.
It's
you know
illegal
what?
robbery is what it is.
Legal robbery.
Well, here's the question I have. Was this just an arbitrary deal to where they just considered it a public nuisance and shut it down, or did they actually come to the courts with proof of it actually being?
No, they didn't at all. And the guy that even owned the shop had a cease and desist order from a circuit court judge in Lansing, and they basically told him, doesn't mean nothing to us.
Lansing in that area is extremely tough. I'm friends with a really well-known activist in that area who actually had her child taken away from her a few weeks after it was born and even though she is a medical marijuana holder, she really is really sick. You know, her husband has multiple sclerosis, and just on the whim of the ex-husband, they went in and took her baby from her in Michigan, and she really had to fight to get it back. And there's another case in Michigan where that's happening again. Michigan is extremely tough, and it's very hard as a medical marijuana holder or to own a dispensary or to even grow there. The law enforcement and the child protection agencies are just really out of control there, and whatever they feel like doing is just what they're going to do. There is, I believe, a Senator Rick Snyder there who believes that if you are a medical marijuana card holder, that it gives the government the right to come take your child away from you because you are now turning your child into a drug addict. I've had lengthy conversations with his office saying, how dare you subject any child to foster care when there are actually children out there that do need to be in foster care because their parents are abusing them sexually. But to take a child
Holy
over
shit.
cannabis, and
I'm just speechless right now. Like, I can't even believe that.
it happens every
Lisa,
day.
It's true.
I'm sure the gentleman on the phone knows exactly the woman I'm talking about. And
Oh, yes,
without her,
I do.
yeah, without her permission, I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, no, I know exactly who you're talking about.
You know, and it really took the community to come together to be able to get her baby back. And it really took a lot, you know, of everybody being there because they were going to adopt her baby out and just give it away or give it to the father.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no. Oh, you would be out of your damn mind if you think that you would be able to come in. And, oh, wow. Wow.
To come in and physically take someone's child that there's nothing absolutely wrong in the house at all, but they just barge in and make their own rules and do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely, I've never heard of this. I wonder, I mean, would you be able to get in contact with her sometime, do you think? Princess?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to speak with her about this.
Man.
I mean, I'm a mom myself. I have two children, okay? And for somebody to come in to do that to me, I mean, I would unleash. I would probably end up in jail just on, you know, the way that I would react to something like that. That is so terrible.
I'm really surprised that you haven't heard about this before. I mean, it has happened to women all over the country. Another one of my friends, she was an activist in Idaho. She didn't smoke pot, she didn't use pot, for simply speaking about marijuana, speaking on a public forum.
They took her kid.
Yeah, they came in and took her kids. I mean, it's really an epidemic in America where my own daughter, just because I talk about marijuana, she almost lost custody of her own child. We've just spent $40,000 in lawyer fees to be able to get my daughter to be able to keep custody of her own children. My daughter doesn't use marijuana whatsoever, but because I talk about it in the state of Pennsylvania, they were going to take her child just on that. They never took into consideration if she was a good mom or not. It was, I talk about pot, so she must be a drug addict.
So Chris, and what's the end game here for the state of Michigan? I mean, we know we kind of have an idea of what's going on now. For activists there like yourself, are we looking at full-fledged legalization? Are we looking at decriminalization in certain cities in Michigan? What is it that we're looking for? I mean, I know in a perfect world, you would want the entire state of Michigan to be legal, period, end of story. Unfortunately, you're probably going to run into some people that, as of right now, are not going to let that happen. So if we were to get something on the books right now, would it be full legalization? Would you take decriminalization? What is it that would satisfy you as of right now?
It would satisfy me. People could actually go get their medicine at a safe place. You know, right now they're forcing us to go to people's houses. You know,
Yeah.
If we had safe places where older people, you know, grandma that needs, you know, her brownies or her tinctures for her glaucoma or her cancer, she's not going to go to the brother down the street to get her medicine.
They're kind of the government, it's like they're supplying their own problem. They want drugs off of the street, but yeah, they're pushing people to the streets to get it. You know what I mean? When it shouldn't even be that way.
Well, what has happened is we have for-profit prisons,
Well,
and
yeah.
it is mandatory, and it is written in when they build these prisons
They
that
have to keep them so full.
And so we are basically seeing from the school to prison pipeline where basically we have outlawed pretty much everything. It used to be in the olden days, you were a really bad person if you went to prison. But nowadays, if somebody tells me that they've been arrested or gone to jail, I feel sorry for them, because the reality is so many people are going to prison for victimless crimes because our government has to keep those prisons full. I don't understand it. I don't understand victimless crime whatsoever. I do not use hard drugs. I do not gamble. I do not use hookers. But it is none of my business as long as your happiness doesn't impede on my life.
I can't believe that. And, you know, we did get that number that you gave us last week, and I've been trying to call every show that I've had this past week. I've been giving the mayor's office a call, and I still cannot.
It's like impossible, ain't it?
Right, and they don't answer. You know what I mean? I wonder how did they get in contact with these people? If I was somebody wanting to give them money, because I support everything that they're doing, they're missing out because they don't answer the damn phone.
I can talk to a lawyer here in Bay City, and I can see if I can get some better contact numbers for you guys.
If you could, please, I would appreciate that a lot. I mean, I'm so interested in it. Like I said,
I will be out in Colorado on the 19th.
My man.
you are gonna make it.
The only problem I have is if you possibly can, I need 3 more tickets. The only way we can make it out there was to get a group of people together so that we could drive.
Oh, and carpool it.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
I'm sure I could probably work that out for you. That's
Yeah.
not a problem at all.
Ready?
Tickets for what?
We already got 2. We got 3 more for the U.S. Cannabis Expo coming up on the 19th and 20th. So yeah, let's put our heads together. Let's get to working on that. And then yeah, as long as you're coming out, we should be able to take care of you, man.
100%. We will be there.
Great, I'm excited. This is so cool. You know what I mean? Here we are in Colorado. We make new friends completely across the United States, and look, he's gonna come visit us. I'm excited. I can't wait for you to get out here.
The way
And maybe you guys can give me some more information about how we can go about, getting more people involved in contacting our, congressmen and people that are sitting in office that need to be doing what the people want.
Absolutely.
Sweetie, if you can find the answer to that question, I will give you $1 million. I fight every day. I fight every day for people's lives and trying to save sick and dying people, and to try to get somebody to pick up that phone and just make a phone call just to say, hey, I'm pro medical marijuana or I'm pro legalization is nearly impossible. Everybody wants to stay home, smoke the bong, get real high, but nobody actually wants to get out there and do everything. If all those people that went to the High Times Cup and spent all that money would take 10 minutes out of their day to make a phone call, we would have legal weed in America right now.
Now, Chris,
Right.
I want to ask you, I know you were saying that it's a pretty small area that you live in out there. How many people do you think, on an average, if you had to guess, were affected by the closure of this particular dispensary?
Oh, hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
Now, see, if all of those 100 people made a phone call
I know.
once a
I
day
know.
and complained that they need medicine, the government will not help them. We are in this country, you know what I mean, and we are asking them to provide us with something that they are supposed to be doing, and they're not doing it. What does that say, you know what I mean, about what they're doing? And if there's enough people that do that, they're not going to want that word to get out, that's for sure, because that's going to make them look bad. It already does, but I mean, at least, if more people just stand up and stick out together about it and speak up about it, I mean, Chet, it's not that hard, you know what I mean? People are afraid of an angry mob, but they should be terrified of a peaceful protest. You know what I mean? Because it's seriously, like, that's something that means something. You know what I mean? Not that people that aren't writing aren't doing it for a reason. I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? It's amazing the power that people can actually have if they just actually got together and did something about it.
There's actually Gene Sharp wrote a book, and he helped with the Velvet Revolution over in Turkey, and they overthrew the government through peaceful means. So it can happen. Unfortunately, most people are lazy.
it's definitely possible.
Together.
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Hey, Chris, can't wait to meet you. We'll talk to you soon. We'll get to working on those tickets for you. All right.
All right, definitely. Thanks a lot, guys.
No worries,
No
man.
problem. Have a good one.
Yep, that's Chris in Bay City, Michigan.
He is such a cool guy.
Good.
I'm so excited he calls in.
Yeah, going through a lot of the things that a lot of people are going through right now. I mean, I'm looking at a story in Minnesota to where there's a set of parents that has an 8-year-old that can be treated through cannabis or cannabis oils, we should say. But instead, to me, this is even worse. Instead of just saying no, they're saying wait. It's been 4 years to put them since they've been putting them on the cannabis registry, and they're still telling them to wait.
The medical cannabis bill in Minnesota is such a joke. My girlfriend DJ, she lives out there, and she's fought really hard, and she's worked with a lot of the clinics and everything to get this rolling. And she actually owns a farm and is a real farmer. And it would be greatly appreciated if people in Minnesota would actually listen to what she's got to say. The other day, they had these pictures of wherever they were growing, and the plants really weren't okay whatsoever. And then, she called them out on it, and then they pulled the picture down, and now it's like, okay, well, where's this cannabis? Where's it going? A lot of these states that have medical marijuana programs, it's just It's politicians trying to pass a bill to make themselves feel better when the reality is almost no patient can get access to it. It's like in New Jersey. Chris Christie has really done his best
60.
to kill and murder people by not giving them medicine. I hold him personally responsible for the death of one of my friend's children.
It seems like I'm just going to have to start going through state by state and making a list of all of these people that I got some stuff to say to them.
Hey, Chris Christie should be number one on the list.
Absolutely.
Period. But when we get back, your special guest coming up.
Yes, we have Andrew Daly from the Weed Reviewer magazine up in Denver, Colorado.
Good deal. Check him and check it out. Don't forget the YouTube page and give us a call at 719-591-KUSH. This is Let's Hash It Out. Almost forgot the show.
Let's talk pot.com.
That's my nickel bag of funk. My nickel bag of funk. A nickel bag of funk. A nickel check me out. I said a nickel bag.
Do you want my new song I added? It's the jingle.
That ain't new. I've been hearing that for years.
Right, I know. I've heard it a long time ago, but I was sitting in my car the other day and it just came to me. It's like my stroke of genius.
Digable's whole
Mhm.
album.
Just,
This is turning into a great show. You guys are doing a good job.
thank you. I'm stuck.
Thanks, man. Ah, jeez. Gotta make sure the freaking mics are on.
No problem. Hey, you don't have to turn them off. I turn everything off here.
Yeah, I know, but that's the old producer in me.
I feel you.
At any time, any one of us can come out with a cuss word or something like that.
Oh man, I don't think I can go with that. There's a lot of people on that list that do not like me. I'll stand. That was great.
Give him there. Usually you come in.
She's gonna do it once every husband.
Okay, so
I'm Brittany. I'm
How
the
you doing,
editor of
Brittany?
Reader's
Oh,
Digest.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Hey, you know what? I completely spaced. We got another mic. My problem. You build the studio and then you forget what you got.
I am new to this, so. Yeah, cool.
Only thing I can tell you is if you are speaking as if you are somebody that you are not normally, we can tell.
That's fair.
Just be you.
Sounds good.
Just be you. Grab that mic, hold it, own it. It's yours.
Sounds good.
So that means if you break it, issue. No, I'm kidding.
There.
No, you're good.
Is that good?
Yeah, you should be fine. Sounds good. And by the way, it helps that your producer is a big Digable Planets fan. So when he grabbed it, he's like, I've been waiting on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Presence is also a
Where
huge
are we gonna
Digable
start?
Planets fan.
where are we gonna start?
She'll start. They'll talk.
When we get to the end of the segment, you'll hear a guy from the company will say 2 minutes. And the rest of it.
Don't panic.
Coffee.
Got it.
Yes.
And Ted, we're on.
Try alldayvaporlabs.com.
Maybe I didn't hear 60 because I wasn't listening. Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official disclaimer from K-High Radio. We at K-High Radio want to remind you that, yeah, whatever, there's nothing on this page. Keep listening.
Mike's live.
Oh yeah, that's my other jam. I love that song. That's Holly Buds. Gosh, I love some reggae music on a beautiful day like today. It's perfect, right?
We should get in my house afterwards and reggae music and smoke and
She's such a hippie. I love her. Okay, everybody, we're back. This is your girl, Miss Miranda Rice, and you're listening to Let's Hash It Out from Let's Talk Pot.com, if I can speak correctly.
That's all right.
And we have a guest in the studio today. Well, we have 2 guests and a very, very cute little lady in here.
2.5, we'll say.
There you go. Yeah, 2.5. That works perfect. We have Andrew Daly and Brittany, soon to be Brittany Daly. Is that right?
Yes, me.
They're in the studio here with us today. They're from the Weed Reviewer magazine, based out of Denver, Colorado. And I'm excited to hear a little bit more about the publication. I know that you guys just had the first issue come out on 420, right?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Okay, so why don't you guys just tell us a little bit about what this magazine is all about?
Well, we are all about taking a wholesome approach to cannabis education. We feel it's really important to let everybody know that whole plant cannabis oil is so incredibly medically beneficial. And I feel that there's such a huge discrepancy in information across the country and across the world. And we're trying to reach everybody with this information because this can change the world. It can heal everybody. It's a preventative measure. It can heal hundreds of ailments.
I want to applaud both of you guys for doing that because, I mean, we're doing a part here by being on the radio. You know what I mean? Every activist out there has their little part. But you guys were just telling me that you guys got an RV and you guys are going to be traveling to promote this, right?
Yes, we are.
That is amazing.
We are going to be hitting, especially these non-legal states where there is so much misinformation and it's a little more conservative. So it's a little more difficult to reach out for the information. And we want people to know that it's there. It's not scary. We have a family. We're trying to reach families who can really be benefited by this. And it's really our passion.
I think that's great. We need more people like you guys. That's for sure.
Hey, we're all doing our part. We all have our niche in this industry, and thank you for doing your part as well.
Well, I guess my first question is with Weed Reviewer magazine. Whose concept was it between you two? How did this whole thing begin? Was this just a conversation on the couch, or you tell me?
It actually began 3.5 years ago as Colorado Weed Reviewer LLC.
Okay.
And it's been an online blog focusing on Colorado and bringing patients accurate, quality information, letting them know where they can find quality products and products worth spending their money on that isn't just the mainstream, I have the most advertising money, let me go buy that thing that everybody knows about. I wanted to find the true hidden gems and bring recognition to them. Upon doing this for so long, I've had a huge demand for to go print. And then I've had a huge demand all around the world that people want to be a part of what we're doing. They want to help with what we're doing. So we changed from being a local Colorado perspective to being more global. We have journalists from 5 different countries now.
Nice.
And in our next issue, we have seven countries being represented by Weed Reviewer magazine. So we're really trying to take a global approach to cannabis education.
How's the response been? I mean, like you said, you just came out with your first one no more than a month or two ago. What was the initial response? What'd you guys receive?
We launched at High Times Cannabis Cup.
Okay.
And we also had the first secret sesh here in Colorado at our magazine launch party. So we've had a tremendous boost to the start of Weed Reviewer magazine. And we're trying to continue with that momentum and build and snowball from that and continue to push forward.
Everything's been ultimately positive, though. We've had a few people who are still a little more on the conservative end of things who are like, well, that's really great what you're doing, but, we'll pass on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we expect to receive that, but, it's how you approach the nose.
Exactly. At least that's what I would think. And that was going to be my next question. How are you guys handling not necessarily the naysayers? I'm a firm believer in it's not love or hate that can break you. It's indifference. How are you handling the people that are kind of like or kind of like how you described? It's okay. It's cool what you're doing. I just don't want to be a part of it. How are you handling people like that?
We're just trying to reach out to them with compassion. We understand their standpoint, and we just want them to understand ours. And mutual understanding is where that happy place lies. And I feel that by educating those people, and even by approaching them with the standpoint of, it is good what we're doing. Remember, this isn't, a drug. This is
this is medicine.
Right.
And even just planting that seed, I feel, is important with those people.
That's the hardest seed that seems to be to get planted in the first place.
Opening a dialogue is really the most important place to start from. And you have to open that dialogue even with those in the gray area.
For me, I've tried to educate people that there's no part of cannabis that your life can't touch, from oil for our cars to run on, to hempcrete to build houses, to planting hemp, to take out toxins out of the soil, to cannabis as medicine, or even cannabis recreationally. I don't really think that there needs to be, a difference, because even if you're using it recreationally, you are enriching your life and making yourself happy, calm, and instead of having alcohol, or even if you do have it with addition, because I'm not going to be one of those people that hate on alcohol because I love to drink, but if you need to tone it down with the alcohol, cannabis is a great way to go, because you're not going to kill your body and you're not going to wake up the next day with regrets thinking, oh my God, what have I done? What did I say to my friends? So it's not just, people say medical, but there isn't any part of cannabis, even recreational, that isn't medical.
That's kind of like what Roger was saying last week when he came on. And he was saying that it's not necessarily about whether or not you should take this drug or that drug, you know what I mean, versus like these pills or smoke cannabis. It was about how healthy of a substance you want to put in your body. You know what I mean? Because overall, that's everybody's main concern, is exactly what it's going to be doing to you. And that's just where I don't understand, is how people can sit there and still think that it's so horrible when there has been, 412 people die a year from falling out of bed. Okay, 0 people have died from marijuana. Okay, so smoking pot is literally safer than sleeping.
Right. And that's where we have to come in and eliminate that divide, I feel like, and show people that there's a broad spectrum of the broad spectrum of cannabis and what its varied benefits are in our lives, and people are getting, so much different information from so many different sources, and it's coming at them from all different directions. And with the social perspective of, cannabis is a drug, it's hard to even get that out of your ear, even when you're hearing all of these good things. So I feel like making it a household name, making it, changing it from pot to cannabis, and in those conservative years is a big step. And
I agree 100%.
Eliminating that divide between medical and recreational, because a lot of it is self-medication.
Exactly. That's one of the things I said on my very first show, is that whether or not you realize that you think you're recreationally using, you are self-medicating. Because if you're pissed off and you're about to, go murder somebody and you need to calm the hell down, you go smoke a joint. It's a self-medicating, way to calm down that anger. I don't literally mean go murder somebody. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a way to, relieve the angst of everyday life. And I think that's what Joe Rogan had said. You know what I mean? Because people are just trying to deal with the traumatic, the circumstances of just living on a daily.
So just pure curiosity, and this is from the guy that's been out of it for a while. Do you see a difference between people who use it medicinally and people who use it recreationally? Because for all intents and purposes, I mean, it's all within the same movement. It's all within the same purpose, and that's awareness and things of that nature. But somebody brought it up to me this weekend in that regard, and I thought of it, and I said, well, is there really a difference between guys who use it medicinally and other ones that use it recreationally? And could there possibly be some type of friction there?
I love that question, because every week I get like 5 or 6 different messages like, oh, I can't wait to come to Colorado and try medical weed for the first time. And that's like one of my all-time favorite comments I get from people, because they really think that there is a difference between recreational weed and medical cannabis.
I'm going to have to say I believe that there is, based on the way that it's grown and taken care of. If you're using...
But that's in the cultivation, though. That's not necessarily on whether it's medical or recreational.
Well, if you're growing on a medical, you shouldn't ever use pesticides or anything like that. But if you are growing on a medical level or for medical patients, you really need to step up your game. If you're just being a bong humper, whatever you put in your body, that I respect the plant. I grow organic. I don't believe in disrespecting the plant. But I believe if you're going to use it for medical purposes or grow on the medical side,
I see exactly what you mean.
Different.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
That also goes back to that divide, though, and we need to eliminate that divide. We need to create a standard for cannabis across, everywhere, that it needs to be healthy. It is a healthy plant. It's a healthy addition to our lives. So let's make it all healthy.
There's no check and balance at this point in time. There really needs to be a black and white on what is and is not allowed. The gray area that everybody loves to live in
See,
needs to change, in my opinion.
I'm not really okay with that. I think as an industry, we need to look at each other and hold each other to a moral standard. But as far as regulations, please get the government out of my effing life.
I don't think it should be regulated by the government, but I think there should be regulatory committees that are even established by the industry. You know, they can be voted in by industry leaders.
Right.
You know, it could be something that we did as an industry to
Kind of
hold
like
each
its
other
own like
to a moral
cannabis
standard.
politics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there is the Cannabis Consumer Coalition, and now I believe there's also going to be a Better Business Bureau of Cannabis. So it really is up to us to police and monitor each other. But as far as any laws, regulation, anything like that, please keep the government out of my life. I don't
agrees
need
with
an
you.
effing nanny.
Well,
She says,
I think you started on the on sort of an answer. I wanted you to finish it. I guess the question I'll ask is, where does it start? I know we talked about regulatory committees and things of that nature. Where does it actually start? Like you said, you don't want the government in, but on the same token, we don't want it to be like Andrew said, kind of like the Wild Wild West. It's got to start somewhere. So in your opinion, where does it start?
Well, it starts with us creating that dialogue with industry leaders who are like-minded in the way that, we should be delivering a certain quality of medicine to our patients.
Okay.
And I think that those, there should be something at least.
How do you think those type of positions would be established though?
I think it would have to be a committee. A committee would have to be established.
Like a public vote or something?
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Okay, so we're talking about this committee, but we're also talking about not having the government in our life. So when you form this committee and it's found that somebody has done something on the committee's bad side, then what? Then what do you do then?
I honestly, that is getting way too far into it for me. I have no idea. I am not even sort of in the position to talk about how they should regulate each other. I'm really trying to do this for patients,
right?
And I feel that there are people who are better situated to handle those problems. My problem is really with, like we were talking about earlier, these parents who won't try a plant over cutting their child's brain out.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
And so getting back to the reason you guys are doing We Review Magazine. Obviously it starts here. Where does it go next? Where are you guys planning on going with the with I guess the tour, if you will, of awareness?
We have over 75 events that we have scheduled over the next 7 months, all over the United States. We've already got magazines out to South Africa and Israel and the UK, and a couple other places, but those are where a majority of them have went out of the United States, Canada, and Mexico as well. So we really are trying to take a global perspective.
I think, and I mean, we can totally talk about this, off air and everything like that, but I would love to get involved to help in some way with whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you guys are in those anti-states, you know what I mean? Get some of those people lined up, call when we're doing our show, you know what I mean? I'd be more than happy to, dedicate a certain day of the week or something to you guys when you guys are out there on the road. I think that would be amazing to do something like that.
Thank you. I would love to run something on the road with you guys and keep everybody posted on, the progress that we're making with, convincing people that this is the new way.
Yeah,
And that's the way this industry really needs to be ran, is we need to worry about collaborating and working together. Because if we can work together, we can change this industry. We can change the stigmas. Us fighting and trying to argue and be separate and, I want to be the one in the limelight, that doesn't work. Like, that keeps us where we are now. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Like, change yourself, change the world. Like, we can really make a difference, whether it's one person at a time or changing the masses. Like, we can really impact people if we work together. Working against each other is just promoting another obstacle in your way.
Plus, I mean, if you think about it, look how far greed has gotten America.
Right.
Really. I mean, so
It
no wonder.
started as something with the right idea and great concept, but
as far as where we're going to be next, we are going to be at the Utis Cannabis Expo on June 19th to 20th. I know we are the main media sponsor for that event.
Yep, I'm gonna
We'd
be
love
there
to
too.
see everybody there. We're really going to be promoting the magazine and really fighting for our beliefs, and we would love to have everybody fighting for that with us.
Yeah, we've been giving away tickets for that for the past couple weeks, and we're all going to be there. I think all the shows here at the station are going to be doing it live that day. So it'll be some pretty cool stuff going on. I'm excited.
Should be good. Should be good. Should be fun. More where that came from. When we get back, 719-591 Kush. This is Hash It Out on K High.
We'll be right back.
And I'm chill like that. 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 I'm chill
No,
like
I
that.
get into it. You know, once he gets there, he's good. He's
Yeah.
like no one else.
And we're clear?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like what you guys are doing. I didn't really get the chance to look into it too much. Because I
Then on YouTube, you look like you're knitting.
I get a little nervous. I'm still new to this.
What was that
so I
saying?
get a lot of
On the YouTube, you look like you're knitting.
I hear
Stop looking at me. What do you think? Come on.
All I can see are your hands.
That there's a purpose for that.
What is he saying?
He's teasing me about all he can see on the YouTube feed is my hands. It's not my show. I'm getting out of the way. You know?
That just looks like you're knitting.
Hey, that's cool. Could be worse. Looks like I'm knitting. I'm okay. You know.
I was gonna ask that the other day, actually.
Good.
I was going to ask the other day if you guys watched us through the YouTube feed, because it's always interesting to know what the person in your head sounds or looks like. You know what I mean? So you can see us, but we can't see you. That's not fair.
That's okay. I'm sure you can find me on Facebook.
What do I look up? Do I look up Sonar?
You can look up Denny Sonar Green.
Oh,
DM
really?
DM Green. That's me.
Okay. I'm gonna find you.
Come on, Sonar. Just be honest. Do the same thing we did when she came in to do the show. It was like, oh, YouTube. Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. I'm good. What's she saying? Don't know. Don't matter. Doesn't care.
Good thing
Smiling
I got stuff
That's
to say.
it. Smile away, boys. Smile away. Oh yeah.
Cool. All right.
I think someone else that we can probably get within that is the cannabis business attorneys, Charlie Houghton and Casey Stark. Casey Stark's in where is he?
Yeah, they just,
He's
down the road.
He's in Frankfort, Kentucky now.
they're doing an
And-
end of prohibition tour right
Yeah,
now.
he's doing the end of prohibition tour. Yeah, it's
His place makes the best coffee.
Really?
I used to work in the coffee industry, so.
if I can just get him to stop taking pictures like this.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are you
right.
always pointing? What are you pointing at? Why are you pointing at me? You know?
Taking selfies, man.
He always
There's
looks
a
so,
psychological disorder associated with
he always looks so snazzy though.
He's he's steak knife sharp of a dresser. I give him that. I'm like,
I like that.
he comes in a suit. I'm like, wow, I run the joint and I feel severely in the dress.
I understand. I
And
wear dress
whoever's on
every
the red
single day.
microphone, they need to talk right at it instead of the side of it.
That's you. Turn it directly to you. There you go.
And that we can get the full range of your voice.
Yeah, there you go.
What you thinking? Sounding so good so far?
Oh, always.
Cool.
You guys are putting together a great show. I'm glad to see it grow.
Good. I'm excited. I've been a little bit nervous competing with guys like the Weed Pimp.
Don't worry about it.
No.
You're doing great.
Exactly. We're all a team
It's never competition.
If the weed talk on K-High is giving you a contact buzz, then just turn it down a little. K-High, the
On
weed
the 20th,
talk
I'm going to
station.
tribal season on the 21st, and then the guinea pig.
Mike's left.
Hey, we're back at letstalkpot.com. This is your girl, Miss Miranda Wright, and this is Let's Hash It Out. Right before we went to the break, we are sitting here visiting with Mr. and the soon-to-be Mrs. Andrew Daly. They're here from the Weed Reviewer magazine, and they're just giving us the lowdown about what it is that they're trying to do, and that they're going to be getting ready to actually go on a pretty cool tour to promote, marijuana awareness and everything that has to go along with the positivity side of it. And I think that's an amazing, amazing thing, and I commend you guys for doing that.
Thank you very much.
Got any questions for him? Give us a call. It's 719-591-5874 or Kush.
And you guys there's a Facebook page, right? Is it just the
Facebook, Instagram, Massroots, Twitter, Weed Reviewer Magazine.
all the same name?
A little bit of everything.
Weed Reviewer, one word.
Right.
All right. That is really cool. I know that I got to meet, there's another gentleman that works with you guys, right? He wears the cool hats, right? He has like fedora hats, yes. I got to meet him at the Cannabis Cup, and he was really cool. Actually, I got, he signed it for me. He gave me a little bit of an autograph, and I think Chris actually took my magazine from that day, but.
What the heck, Chris?
Yeah.
Really?
Come on, man.
Really?
But he, was,
another one.
but he was actually really cool. He let me do a 420 review on them and everything, so that was really cool. It was exciting.
So what's in the what are some of the highlights within your debut of Weed Reviewer magazine? What are some of the things you guys put together that the minute you put it in, you went, yeah, that's perfect.
What
That's
happened to
it.
the one? Did we have one here in the studio somewhere?
Yeah, but sweetie, it's a studio. Things come up missing.
I would say that I'm the editor, so I can probably pull a few things off the top of my head here. I'd say that something that really resonated with us was the Parents for Pot. There were a couple of articles in there. It was In the Eyes of Lorelei, and another one about a little girl named it was Daisha. And there are these beautiful little girls from Australia who are affected with a couple of different disorders. I'll let you read the magazine.
Okay.
But, it's all the
That's called
exactly. Check it out.
Is that Lorelei out of Pennsylvania?
No, Lorelei is out of Australia, actually.
Okay. There's a legalized for Lorelei in Pennsylvania, and Senate Bill 1183, which they've changed the bill now, has grown mostly from her mother, and a lot of the push for the medical marijuana is due to a little girl and her mother Dana, who I just love them so much. Lorelei has the same type of seizures as my husband does, and so it's really been, not comforting because nobody wants to be sick, but to just know that you can have someone who can understand and relate. And so I'm really proud of everything they're doing. That's kind of cool that it's another Lorelei in another country.
Absolutely.
So, and Parents for Pot is a beautiful organization. Tori LaChapelle is one of my closest and best friends, and she's one of the founding members. And I was really excited to see Ashley Remmer in your magazine.
She's contributing hugely to our magazine, and we are so grateful for her.
And for people that don't know what Parents for Pot is there an organization that helps parents who either need marijuana for their children or have been wrongly convicted of marijuana crimes? I don't know about this Christmas, but I'm sure they did. But last Christmas, they gave Christmas gifts to children whose parents who had been convicted of cannabis crimes. And they really help a lot of people. And Mickey Martin, out in California, supports them and is also the founders. I believe he's actually the owner. And that man just is one of the most honorable people probably on the face of the planet and in the cannabis community. Not a lot of people like what he has to say because he's very blunt and doesn't sugarcoat it, but I can respect that.
Certainly. We need
That's
more
really
of that.
I got to meet the gentleman, and I think it was his wife. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. At the Cannabis Cup, and they were here. I think it was the Colorado Springs chapter actually that was there at the booth. At least I think it was the day that I got to meet them. But like I said, I'm still kind of new to the whole industry as when it came to organizations and groups, and being able to just drop bill numbers off the top of my head. But I knew that there was some type of a group for parents, out there. But to the extent of everything that has been done by this group, I tip my hats to so many of these people because it takes courage to be able to do stuff like that, especially knowing that there are people that have done less and got their children taken away.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it takes a set of balls. I can say that, right?
Yes.
It takes a set to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Because it's not something that's easy to do, and it's fear that stops a lot of people from even admitting, that they believe in something. And it sucks that in the land of the free, you're not even free to have your own thoughts?
In Pennsylvania, when I started speaking out about cannabis, we were pretty much shunned in the community. We lived in a very small town, and these same women that would ask me to score a bag from them would then go to the playground and talk horribly about me, and we were no longer invited to birthday parties or dinners or anything like that. But then, you know, if they would see me around town, hey, can you give me a bag? Well, no, I can't. First of all, because I'm not a drug dealer and I'm not trying to go to prison. And second, how are you going to sit there and not support me, but then go around and want to smoke, you know, marijuana? It's just like.
I think there's a lot more people out there like that than people care to admit. Like I said, it's not necessarily love or hate; it's indifference. You get the ones that kind of go, and then you get the other ones that, as a front for their family, their friends, their clique, their whatever you want to call them, they're going to say, yeah, it's illegal, I don't want it, this, that, and other. But yet, when they get you by yourself, hey, so can you get me this? That, I think there's a lot more people out there nationally and just as from worldwide as than more people think. I think there's a lot more people out there like that.
I agree 100%. I actually have a bunch of those people in my family, and a bunch of those and a bunch of those people that are friends and that are users of cannabis. And yet, when it came down to even talking to me once I got my job here and everything like that, they were all of a sudden closed-minded. They didn't want to talk about it. It was wait, what?
Of course, of course.
That's something that just, I don't know. Maybe it's something that, like she was saying, it's something that comes from individual people. It has to be something that strikes really a passion with it. And when it comes to something like losing a family member or your child or your mother or somebody, from a sickness like that, that's really where that passion comes from, is that drive and that pain and that hurt from it. You know what I mean? And it sucks that it takes something traumatic to bring it out of people. But I mean, thank God in a way for it, because it's opening up, that free will to be able to talk about something that bothers you.
And I think along with what we're doing, and as well as Weed Reviewer magazine, the number one thing we want to put out there is that, look, it's here. Let's have a conversation about it. Yes, I feel a certain way about it. You're allowed to feel polar opposite about it, but we can sit in the same room and have this discussion. It's not, oh, we're for the movement. If you're not for the movement, then forget you. No, we don't want to forget you. All we want to do is put something out there to make you say, well, I still don't like it. I understand what they're doing now. I still don't like it, but now I understand. I mean, I think in the end, that's what you want. That's what you want as far as the magazine to come out with, as far as that outcome.
Certainly. We really just want to bring that understanding and open that dialogue, even to people who aren't really ready to hear it. Planting that seed can go a lot further than we even realize.
I'm wondering if there has been any type of publication as far as like an anonymous posting outlet, for people to really vent how they feel about certain situations without having to worry about having the repercussions. I mean, like with this show, you can call in, and if you don't, have something you want to say and you don't want to tell us your name, you don't have to. We can be completely anonymous. But I have to wonder.
Find you. I'm kidding.
But I have to wonder if there has ever been anything like that, to where people can, like a confessions that we have on our station here. You know what I mean? Where people can call in and do a little can of confession about either want to reveal to somebody you smoke pot, or you want to talk about something and get it off your chest. Then and I heard it just this weekend on Saturday. I didn't even know that it was on the station, but it's great. I wonder if they have any type of printing or column, like an advice column in a magazine.
There's a forum. I'm sure there are multiple forums online, but I don't know if there's anything necessarily in print.
We used to have one when we first opened. It was called Ask Granny Ganja. By the way, shout out to Granny Ganja, Rocky Mountain Miracles. She used to come on the show for about 2 or 3 weeks. She would come on and she would answer questions from her blog and things of that nature. So I'm sure the publications are out there. It's just a matter of number one, which one to trust. And number two, at least from our standpoint, from my standpoint, which one to pluck and say, hey, you know what, this may be halfway decent on radio. Why don't you come here?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, they're out there. It's just a matter of grabbing the right one.
Yeah, that's true. I know that just from starting this job, when if you Google anti-pot or anti-marijuana campaign, the amount of stories that come up that are so far extreme bogus to where it's gonna, it'll make your hair turn blue and your skin start turning colors, to the great benefits of it. It's everything from the few and far between. So it's kind of good to start getting all of that information out there, whether it's ridiculous or not. It kind of sets the barrier for where we lie in it.
My favorite one is if I tried pot once and now I'm gay. And I'm like, well, I've tried pot lots of times. It's never made me gay, but tequila on the other hand.
A whole different ball. So, and I'm not sure if I've asked this before, but I'll ask you again. What do you say to not necessarily the people who are indifferent, but what do you say to the people who have approached you with a closed mind, that have the excuses of, oh, it's going to make you turn blue, or it's going to make you do this? But what is your approach to somebody that comes up to you and says, I hate what you're doing. I think you're causing moral decay in the community, and you should stop now. What would be one of your answers?
I would say that I would tell them to look at Colorado as a model, because here we're putting millions of dollars into our community with legal cannabis. And I feel that they should look into some of the research that even universities in Texas are doing. University of Texas Arlington and University of Texas El Paso, to be specific, are doing a lot of research on the various medical properties of each of the medical compounds, of each of the different chemical compounds in cannabis. So I tell them to have a look at some of the research, and they've come at me again.
I think it was your friend that actually said it best, and she said, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, but when it comes down to the facts, you can't lie about that.
Exactly.
Sure.
And we're trying to really, I feel that if we approach people from, with these inspirational stories, especially these children who, just lives have been so hugely impacted. I feel that people can't turn a blind eye to that forever if we keep pushing that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad I caught you guys when you were in town. It's perfect timing.
Absolutely.
If anybody wanted more information, what's the website to go to?
It is, check out our Facebook, Weed Reviewer Magazine. Our website, weedreviewermagazine.com, is being worked on currently as we speak.
Okay. Great. Lots of information. It's been a good show today, guys. That's already my full hour. Looks like we're going to have to hash it out again tomorrow. We'll be back with Miss Miranda Rice on letstalkpot.com. Give us a call, 719-591-5874.
There you go.
Yeah, we're clear. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Oh, no problem. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
I said sorry about you.
No, please.
I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, so she is
Compared to most adults, she should probably Nice owner. Nice. See? That's my one hand. That's my other hand. What'd you do?
I read
What's
that,
your-
and then I'm getting, oh, I need to go. I didn't want to do that on camera again. I'll never do that again.
I've seen people do that and it looked like an applause or a big wave. It was like, I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
I don't need 3 hands. It's all good. All right. So